Hello and welcome here to Frank Bailey Field on the campus of Union College in Schenectady, New York for this afternoon's important Liberty League game between the Union College Garnet Chargers and the Hobart Statesmen. Andrew Santillo and Connor Collette here, and we'll hear from head coach John Drock in just a second as we get ready here for the national anthem. Coin toss just happened. This is a big game. Union 3-2, three-game win streak, 2-0 in the Liberty League. Hobart 1-4, 0-2 in the Liberty League, but they've had some tough breaks go against them, and usually this Kevin DeWall head coach team is up near the top of the standings, so you certainly can't take anything for granted in this matchup between Union and Hobart. They've been playing together football since 1896. This is the 108th meeting between these two programs. So we will pause here for the national anthem. Hobart coming out on the far sideline. It is a glorious day for football here in Schenectady, New York. The kickoff temperature is right at about mid-60s, and it's actually expected to go up even a little bit higher. Not a cloud in the sky. And just a tremendous day here on an October Saturday for Liberty League football. Union is on the near sideline, ready for the national anthem. Hobart now running out on the far sideline as you see them come into view on that far sideline. So as they get ready, we will step aside for the national anthem, and you'll hear from Union's second-year head coach, John Drock. Pre-game here with Union second-year head coach John Drock. And, Coach, a big one today. Union versus Hobart. You guys are undefeated, 2-0 in the league. What's been the message to the team this week as you get ready for, all of these Liberty League games are important, but this one is hugely important?
I think it's just take the first rep. Take the rep, and focus on what we need to be able to do that play, effort, execution, and let the little details pull us out in the win. I think for us, it's been a process, and a lot of our process is focusing on those small things. So let's not break away from that. Let's do all those little things that we're supposed to be able to do every day right now as we get into a big game.
Offensively, the offense is seemingly getting on track here with Patch leading the way. He's the second leading rusher, first leading rusher, I believe, second leading passer in the league. What is he what has made him so successful, and what does he have to do today against a good Hobart unit?
I think he's just got to play his game. I don't think he needs to do anything superhuman. He has to go out and play his game. He's a smart football player, and that's the one thing that people take away. I think, yes, he's a great athlete. Yes, he does all these things with his legs and his arm. But he's also a really, really smart kid, and he puts himself in really good positions, makes great decisions, and that's at the core of what's being a great quarterback. I think that's one of the reasons why he is so good, is because he puts himself in a really good situation. He's just got to go do that every play today.
And your defense has been playing really well, especially as of late. They've been making big plays, turnovers, getting to the ball. Yep. What do they have to do today against the Hobart offense that can move the football?
Yeah, we got to stop the run. Make them one-dimensional. I think that's what our goal is to do every week, is to make a team one-dimensional. And today, with E.J. Taylor in the backfield, we got to make sure we limit his carries and yards after contact and those break tackles. We can't have those happen. For us, we got to be able to get to the point of attack, rally the football, make tackles behind the line of scrimmage, or at the line of scrimmage, and make them play from behind the chains.
Union and Hobart, I know you know this rivalry well. Yep. You were 11 years an assistant at Hobart. Both programs, get up for this game. This is a big game. You've been on both sides of it now. How important is this game for both fan bases, the programs, the institutions, and also the spot in the Liberty League standings?
I think you go to Liberty League standings first and foremost, and this is another Liberty League game. It's just as important as last week against Buff State, and I think we put the same weight on every game, and it's still about us. It's on our level of execution, our level of technique against their level of execution, their level of technique. It's an important game, but it's the one that we have right in front of us. And that's what we're focused on right now.
Thanks, Coach. Union and Hobart have been playing since 1896. The 2025 version coming up next. Thanks to Union head coach John Drock for joining us in the pregame, and you heard his keys to the game there, Connor. Defensively, got to stop the run, and offensively, it's been the success of Patch Flanagan at quarterback, who, as we heard there, leading rusher in the league as a quarterback, over 450 yards rushing, and almost 1,000 yards passing, which is second in the league. He's also for his career, over 3,000 yards passing and nearly 1,000 yards rushing. So when he's doing things that he wants to do and having success, this Union offense is going to as well.
Yeah, as Coach Drock was saying, really you got a couple keys to the game for Union. It's stopping the run, which they've done a phenomenal job at that defensive line unit, returning a couple good players from last year like Charlie Johnson. Have really done a great job stopping the run against two run-heavy teams in their last couple games. And then on the other side, Pat Flanagan's been phenomenal. You just got to try to limit the turnovers as much as possible. Fumbles have been a little bit of a problem for Union as they break one out here on the kickoff, getting to the 42-yard line.
And that was Caden Gore who brings it out. I believe it was Gore who brings it out to the 42-yard line, and that's where this Union offense will get set. Patch Flanagan, the senior from Madison, Connecticut. His older brother, Jack, also played for the program, and as we said, he's closing out 1,000 yards passing this season, over 3,000 passing yards for his career, and nearly 1,000 rushing yards for his career. Coach Drock said, don't force things, right? Let's do what we do successfully, and this offense has been rolling. They're averaging 25 points per game, 3-game winning streak, and this offense 28 points last week against Buffalo State, and not exactly how you want to start the game as Union takes a timeout. It looks like there was some miscommunication there, Connor.
Yeah, Union ran on a player late. They were in a formation quite different from what they normally were. No running back there, so a little bit of confusion. I think one wide receiver thought a running back was supposed to be on the field. Running back, obviously, Donardo thought a wide receiver was supposed to be on the field. Saw one run out late, but Caden Gore didn't quite able to get set in time to beat the play clock.
Not exactly how you draw things up here to start, but better safe than sorry. You want to start this opening drive, try to set the tone, and if you get a penalty, you certainly don't want to go backwards. Against a Hobart defense that is averaging 22 points per game allowed, we talked about it. A 1-4 start for this Hobart program is not what they're used to. And they are trying to right the ship here under veteran head coach Kevin DeWall. And these two coaches know each other well. They both worked on that Hobart staff together before DeWall was the head coach. Quick pass is caught, and it's good for a first down as it's Caden Gore. So Gore with the return and now the first reception. And he's got a first down onto the Hobart side of the field.
Yeah, Caden Gore maybe makes a little mistake not being on the field when he's supposed to. Cost Union a timeout, but brings it right back. Great completion for a quick first down and already into Hobart territory.
It was a pickup of 11 to the Hobart 47. Flanagan in the shotgun. He's got one running back now to his left. That's Donardo. They're going to hand it off. Donardo bounces it outside. He's got some room, and he falls forward over the 45-yard line, tackled by Zashawn Dixon, and it is a pickup of 3.
Yeah, you run with two tight ends there. They've done a great job in the past couple of games of establishing the run early, opens up the passing lanes for Patch Flanagan, and really opens up his running lanes as well as he's the leading rusher here for Union.
Coach Drock said this offensive line has really been doing a great job out there, and some of it has had to do with health, but they've only allowed 2 sacks this season in 5 games. Flanagan fakes the pitch and then takes it up to the 40-yard line. Good pickup there against this Hobart defense.
Yeah, it looked like that O-line collapsed a little bit immediately, but Patch Flanagan's just been such a patient runner throughout his career here and just this season. Sits back, waits, finds his hole. This O-line's done a great job of opening up something, even on a play like that where really seemed like Hobart sniffed out the run, still able to open up a small hole, and Patch Flanagan's able to dive forward for an important couple yards on third down.
As Connor said, big down here, 3rd and 4, ball at the Hobart 41. Flanagan to throw. Pass is caught by Corrigan on the far sideline, and Owen Corrigan all the way down inside the 15. Connor, that was a big play, but it was almost a big accident as it was a throw that was dangerously close to being intercepted.
Yeah, Patch Flanagan was on his back foot there, dealing with a heavy rush coming from Hobart. Still able to make the pass. Good job by Owen Corrigan just staying locked in on that ball despite the defender jumping in front of him. A little bit lucky there for Flanagan, but you'll take anything you can get on this football field.
Heavy set here with Donardo to Flanagan's right. Flanagan designed run up the middle, and he's got it close to another first down at the 5-yard line. It'll be second and short, and they had to call a timeout initially on this drive, but once they've gotten the right personnel out there, Union has moved the ball down the field with ease.
Yeah, it's just this run game really starting behind this O-line, which has been phenomenal, especially past few games and throughout the entire year. We talked to Coach Strack about that, and they just do a phenomenal job opening up a hole straight down the middle. Patch Flanagan finds it and just fires right up to get a few yards.
Again, behind this offensive line, which is a veteran group, here's DiNardo, and he has got a little bit of room close to the first down. He was tackled by Hunter Voss.
See, that's a tight one. Doesn't look like the referees are going to give it to him. It'll be third and short.
Third and very short here, and a big play here. 11:40 to go in the opening quarter. Union and Hobart. And it's third. Oh, they did say they gave him the first down there. So it is first and goal for the Garnet Chargers here after that first down pickup by DiNardo. And that is big, obviously, because it's not third down and short. Yeah, it is first and goal.
These Union running backs struggled a little bit in the first couple games away, but since they've come home, DiNardo's done a great job of finding extra yardage. Patch Flanagan here, unable to find a hole, gets stopped around the 3-yard line.
Yeah, gets a yard up to the 3. And again, this offensive line, Coach Drock talked about once they've gotten healthy, and that's been Kyle Webster, a senior, David Cooperstein, a senior, Brian Ermshar, a sophomore, Jack Beecham out there, and also Nick Olivola. So you've got 3 seniors and 2 sophomores, but it is a veteran group. And they've got even more big bodies out there on this down as it's second and goal from the 3. Flanagan in the shotgun, fakes to DiNardo. He's going to roll to his left. Still rolling, trying to get to the pylon. He reaches, and he is out of bounds at the 1. So it'll be third and goal here for Union on the opening drive.
Union's had some troubles in the red zone, especially with dealing with some turnovers in those early games of the season. Slowly, they've kind of built up that red zone offense and got rid of those extra turnovers, but really important downs here to punch this one in and get an early score in the first quarter.
Flanagan again in the shotgun. Third down, designed run, trying to find the end zone, and he is in for the touchdown. 2-yard rushing touchdown for Patch Flanagan, and it's 6-0 Union.
And you know where he's going to go. What do you need when you need a big-time play, short yardage? You're going to go right to Patch Flanagan, the leading rusher for this team, over 400 yards so far, and one of the leading rusher in the
league,
in the Liberty League. And that just makes a great hole. And when you're rushing with the quarterback, you just have an extra blocker. The running back gets up there. You made a big block. That was DiNardo. Opens up a hole, and Union gets the first score of the day.
5th rushing touchdown of the season for Patch Flanagan. Francesco Pileggi, the sophomore from Brazil, out for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. With 9:46 to go here in the opening quarter. It's Union 7 and Hobart nothing.
Yeah, methodical drive for Union, really focusing on the run game. That's been one of their strengths. You get the run, you open up those couple passing lanes. Did a great job there. Only stumble, I would say, was that really tight one with Patch Flanagan. They're able to get that through. And in the end, any football game comes down to just a little bit of luck, and Union gets theirs there to get 7 points on the board.
Yeah, it's a game of inches, as it's been famously said. And that one, on that play, it worked out as they completed the pass, that long pass, to Owen Corrigan, the sophomore from Natick, Mass. And they were able to move the ball down the field. Again, this is a Hobart defense, and we talked to head coach Kevin DeWall before this game. You know, they had a rough go last week against RPI, lost 5 starters on that defensive side of the football. And Coach DeWall said, you know, we've played well at times this season defensively, but we need to be better up front, and we need to be 11 strong to the ball. And Union was able to kind of exert itself on that opening drive.
Yeah, checking in early, checking on Union's keys to the game. Able to prevent getting a turnover there. They're close on one, but able to prevent getting that as this return comes quickly stopped by Union College.
Out to the 26, a late flag flies. And the Union players are clapping. And if it's on Hobart, they're going to be backed up here to start.
I can see senior David Psyche getting hyped out there, and obviously thinks the penalty went against Hobart. There's a little bit of conversation over here on the sideline.
Well, our referee said a couple of mistakes there. Said the kicking team, that was Union. He pointed towards Union. He meant the receiving team, but we got it all ironed out. That'll back the Statesmen up. And it's a Hobart offense that has had 3 different guys at quarterback. As Aiden Conrath is the leading passer, he's dealing with an injury. They've also had sophomore Jeremy Weiss and junior True Styles. So they're going to move that football back after the personal foul and come inside the 15-yard line. So that's where Hobart will start.
And that was Mike McGee, the starting inside linebacker and tackle leader for this Hobart defense, coming up with a crucial penalty that pushes them back almost to their own 10-yard line.
So it's True Styles, the junior, 6'4", 225 pounds, who's in the shotgun for this opening snap of the game for Hobart. Hands off, and this is the second key for Union, is trying to somehow contain junior running back E.J. Taylor, who was the offensive player of the year in the Liberty League last season, and just comes into this game just 34 yards shy of 2,000 career rushing yards, and he's somebody Union is going to have to key on, Connor.
Yeah, this Union team remembers him from last year in a 27-0 rout of Union. Yeah. Hobart, Taylor had 140 yards and a touchdown, so an obvious focus. But these last couple games, Union's done a phenomenal job of stopping the run. Here they're going to start out with a 3-man front early.
They're going to hand it again. Taylor, big hole up the middle over the 30. He's got a first down and a pickup of 11 for E.J. Taylor, junior, 5'11", 215 pounds. We talked about how Patch Flanagan's the leading rusher in the Liberty League. The second leading rusher is E.J. Taylor, and he has 6 rushing touchdowns this season.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Union start out with a 3-man front there, especially because how run-dependent this Hobart offense is. Now they'll switch back to the 4.
Another handoff. 3 straight runs to Taylor, picking his way over the 35. It's a pickup of, he gets out to the 38. It's actually a pickup of 7. Big run on first down for Taylor against this Union defense, which Coach Strock couldn't say enough good things about what his unit has done, and defensive coordinator Devin Smith, allowing 24 points per game and 348 yards, but they've been really good in the red zone, and they've also been good at making big plays, causing turnovers, getting to the quarterback, and most importantly, getting off the field. Second down and short for the Statesmen. They're going to hand it again with Taylor. Taylor spinning. He's got the first down, and he is out close to the 45-yard line, pickup of 6. And so nothing complicated about the Hobart game plan early. It's clear they're going to try to establish the run with E.J. Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, no surprises if you're the Union defense right now. You knew this is exactly what's going to come. Now you just have to step up and play to that level of physicality that the Hobart O-line and running back are playing with right now.
First down, Taylor came out. The senior Taj Jackson is in at running back, and they're going to hand it to him. As Jackson, this time, not as much room to run, as he only gets about 3 yards up to the 47. And it'll be second and long here for the Statesmen.
Yeah, Union switch back to the 3-man front there, trying to give their linebackers some extra space to find the holes and fill them. And a great job there by the inside linebackers, Dragaitis and Dwayne Hines, of just finding those holes, filling them, and keeping it to a modest 3-yard gain, which is still a pretty good run gain, honestly, if I'm Hobart. But compared to the first couple plays, a vast improvement.
Going to hand it off again, this time running left and leaping over a defender. That wasn't Taj Jackson. It was It's a first down for Hobart. It wasn't Jackson. It was might have been 21, Matt Roscoe, perhaps. It was a 20 number. I couldn't quite see it when they gave the handoff. So it's a first down for the Statesmen here, opening drive for Hobart, bobbling the football and then getting it back is Taylor, and he's out close to another first down. So almost disaster there for E.J. Taylor.
Yeah, some crazy focus there by Taylor to sit down, grab that ball, and then still have the wherewithal to switch direction, counter back, and find the hole on the right side of the line.
9-yard pickup. Hobart has not thrown the football yet. They've got True Styles at quarterback.
I mean, when you're getting 7 to 8 yards of play per run, really no reason to drop back.
They've moved all the way down to the Union 34-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. Perfect time for the first pass of the game. Nope, they're going to run it with Taylor, and he's got the first down, only 2 yards to the 33.
Union's really playing relatively conservative in their defensive lineup right now. They're staying wary of the pass, despite a myriad of straight run plays for Hobart so far.
Well, it's a defensive line that has been very good this season, led by a couple of juniors, Jordan Black, Daniel O'Leary, and also a senior captain, Charlie Johnson, up front, along with sophomore Logan Miller. They have really put pressure on opposing teams' quarterbacks, although they have not been able to solve this Hobart run game as of yet. 1st and 10 for the Statesmen. They're going to fake the option. Styles will keep it, and he is tackled after a pickup of a couple.
Yeah, there, Ryan Grenier, strong safety, does a good job of filling that hole, but even every time I think Union does a good job of finding where the run's going and tying it down, it's still a gain of 4 or 5 yards getting past the D-line.
It was John Dragitis, the leading tackler, sophomore from Peabody, Mass., who was in on the stop there. And as you said, Connor, pickup of 5. It's 2nd and 5 from the Union 27. Styles still in the shotgun. Still has not thrown. He puts it on the turf. And a turnover. And what's plagued Hobart this season is those turnovers. And it's Daniel O'Leary who is on top of that football. And that is a big play. Turnover for this defense. And we talked about it. Union's given up yards, but they've been able to make big plays on defense. And that was a miscue from Hobart with Styles trying to, is he going to pitch it? Is he going to keep it?
Yeah,
but O'Leary right there in the right spot.
Yeah, RPO action there for Styles, and he tries to pull it. Running back tries to keep the ball. Just a miscommunication. If you're the running back there, you got to know when to let go of it. Just really wanted that one. It's a big miscue for Hobart, as you said, Andy, and Union able to capitalize, take the ball back, and stop what was a very promising drive for Hobart.
They had moved all the way down the field with the run. Flanagan's pass is complete, and it's Cam Freeze, and a flag comes in late as Freeze is all the way close to midfield, 19-yard pickup, and Freeze is holding his head. That might be a head-to-head shot, so it might be tack 15 on.
Yeah,
Freeze is kind of wobbling as he makes his way to the sidelines.
Yeah, he kind of got spun around and unlucky timing coming in at the same time with some head-to-head contact. I mean,
they're going to wave.
They're going to wave off the flag, yeah.
So of course, I mean, it's still a big gain for Union as they pick up 19 yards and a first down, but could have been 15 more. And Freeze is shaking up, the starting tight end from Carlisle, Mass.
Yeah, even more important maybe than the loss of the 15 yards. Cam Freeze is he's a starting tight end for this team. Union almost has a tight end in on every single play. He's a great blocking and passing threat, so it's really tough to tell what Union is doing.
Yeah, they use Freeze and sophomore Declan Flaherty. Coach Strock says they're kind of our 6th offensive lineman when they're out there, but they're also a threat to catch the ball down the field, as you saw there with Freeze.
Yeah, Freeze up the seam, very dangerous player.
Here's a handoff. It is up ahead for just a couple. Looked like it was DJ Wright who gets 2 to midfield.
Yeah, DJ Wright's gotten some time. It's kind of more of a power back these couple past weeks. trying to make some room up the middle there, but not much space. As it seems like this Hobart D-line's adjusting a little bit and helping to clog up the holes that Union made on that first drive.
The senior from Westbrook, Connecticut gets 2. It's 2nd and 10. He stays in there. He's to Flanagan's right. Flanagan has time in the pocket, lets it loose, and it is over the head of Gil Rivera on the far sideline. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Hobart showing a little bit of trickery there. They started out everyone on the line. They were showing man coverage, and then a couple seconds before the snap dropped out into a too-high shell. So definitely making Flanagan's job difficult there, but he places that ball. I mean, you don't complete it. Obviously, you'd love to complete every pass, but places that one where only his player can get it. And that's something Flanagan's done a much better job of these past couple weeks.
Hobart in a almost like a
prevent formation.
They've got at least 4 defensive backs in there, maybe 5. Flanagan gets hit as he throws, and it's affecting the pass as it goes over the head of Owen Corrigan, and it will bring up 4th down. It looks like Coach Drock might keep his offense on the field here with the ball spotted at midfield.
Yeah, Union, their least successful series of the day, got away from the run a little bit. The first run on first down didn't quite work, went for 2 passes, and now it leaves you in a very difficult 4th and long situation, but Coach Drock is willing to go for it.
Hobart does have a guy back. Flanagan has had a couple of quick kicks this season, so he may be, and it looks like he drops back into formation. There's a high snap. He gets pressured. Now Flanagan's going to run, and he is going to get the first down. Flanagan's got the first down to the 41, a pickup of 9. He needed 8, and it'll be a first down for Union. Boy, oh boy, that looked like a busted play. I think Flanagan was going to kick it, and Hobart's defensive front was right on top of him, so he took off and ran to the right and got just enough for the first down.
Yeah, that Union O-line really wanted to get into coverage quickly and let a guy through, but Flanagan able to make – that's just the benefits of having such an athletic player like Patch Flanagan who can pass, he can run, do everything. And he does a great job there getting up the sideline, going up against Hobart's leading tackler, McGee, and able to sidestep him and get the extra 2 yards for the first down.
Shotgun with 2 running backs. Flanagan's going to load up and throw it deep. He's got a man down there, and it falls incomplete in front of junior Dan Quinn.
See a couple of Union players on the sideline and fans complaining. Definitely looked like a couple hands on Dan Quinn there pulling him back, but a referee was no less than 5 yards away and saw nothing. So we'll stick at 2nd and 10.
1:26 to go here in the opening quarter. Union leading 7-0. This is the Garnet Chargers' second drive of the game. Hobart had 1 drive. It was very, as Connor said, promising, but they ended up turning the ball over on a fumble. Here's Flanagan, designed run up the middle. He goes. A helmet flies off, as that's the helmet of David Cooperstein. So he'll have to come out for a play. So pickup of about 4 or 5 for Flanagan, but Cooperstein out and into the game. Number 54, Brennan Smith, senior from Pittsford, New York.
Yeah, Union getting back to their run game. They really trying to air it out a little bit more with the pass, but it makes much more difficult situations when you end up 3rd and 10, 4th and 10, as we saw in the last series. Here they can do a nice designed run, makes it much more manageable 3rd down.
3rd and 6 officially. Here's Flanagan. Flushed out of the pocket and sacked. Hobart with 4 defenders right there. It was Billy Brosco, who I believe was the first one through, as there was all sorts of pressure on Patch Flanagan, and that'll move the football back, and this time Union will bring out the punt team.
Yeah, Hobart sends the house there. They go man coverage, 1 high. Really just trying to get to Flanagan before he can make any time to pass, and then Flanagan there hitches on his first look. The first look really had to be it because he had no extra time. Hitches on that one, didn't quite like it, and then just eats it for the sack. A difficult play if you're Flanagan, but always better than throwing an interception on a look you don't like.
So the returner for Hobart is standing at the 10. A flag flies here. They have 12 out there, perhaps.
Yeah, it's the back referee, which really.
Oh, maybe delay of game there. I think.
Okay,
Delay of game, which Union, I mean, that doesn't really hurt them because.
If anything, gives you a little bit more room to pin this one.
So it moves the ball to the Union side of the field. It's at the 48 now. Hobart returner moves up about 4 yards to the 14. And the punt off the right foot. It's going to bounce, and it takes a Union bounce. It's picked up. Dangerous play there by the return man, number 3, Johnny Harding. And
Alex Carucci coming up with a big tackle off the edge. Could have been a dangerous play either way. You've seen a lot of times someone pick a bouncing ball, can fumble it. But then again, the Union defense, the Union coverage unit, a little bit out of place because they didn't expect him to pick that one up. Carucci does a great job staying focused, coming off the edge, holding his outside contain, and gets that tackle.
And with that play, that was the final play of the first quarter. Entertaining. Both teams move the football. Union with a touchdown, and they lead 7-0 after one. It's Union 7, Hobart nothing.
First 15 minutes, Union is the winner. Again, 2 possessions. Hobart adjusting a little bit, able to stop them on the second after a really dominant first possession by Union. We'll see how this Hobart offense comes out. They had a dominant possession of their own where they were pushing it all the way down, almost into the Union red zone before a fumble thwarted their opportunity.
Well, we knew this would be a close game. Throw out the record books, as both of these coaches know, when these two programs get together. And after one quarter, Union with a 1-touchdown lead over Hobart. But as you just said, Connor, the Statesmen moved the ball on their opening drive. They turned it over in Union territory. So we didn't see any passes from the Hobart offense on that first drive. So we'll see if that changes.
We were maybe seeing our first pass on that RPO
Perhaps.
before the rollout turned into a fumble.
So it's 1st and 10, and it's going to be a run play to the right. Union swarming there, and only about 1 or 2 yards for Hobart on the first play of the second quarter.
Yeah, Union struggled to deal with the run on the first drive. They tried to run the 3-man front and let their linebackers fill the hole, which on some plays they did a good job of, but just not quite quick enough, leading to 4 or 5 yard gains every single time for this Hobart rushing game.
Hobart 57 rushing yards in that first quarter. 2nd down and 8. Hobart going to run the football, as I believe it's Taylor. Out close to the first down. Looks like he's got it.
Taylor following his blockers, even breaking a few extra tackles from stray Union College arms. Gets the first down, and this looks very similar to the last drive we had, which almost ended in points for Hobart.
Taylor came in 34 yards shy of 2,000 for his career, but he's also, Connor, averaging 5.1 yards rushing per carry. Hobart continuing to keep it on the ground. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Statesmen. They're going to hand it off again. Not much room there. Probably the best job Union's done at bottling up this run game, as it's no gain for Taylor.
Yeah, Union D-line just clogs that up, and in the end, a lot of times you're not going to get clean tackle on the D-line, but you just got to hold everyone back, clog it up as much as you can, let your linebackers come in and finish it out, and that's what Union did to finally get a no gain for the Statesmen.
It was Charlie Johnson, the senior from New Jersey, who was at the bottom of that pile. He's clogging up the middle, 6 foot 275. 4 receivers here for Hobart on 2nd and long, 2 to each side. Attack came right up the middle. Getting a pass away was Jeremy Weiss, who's in there, and the pass is complete to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 4. That's the first pass that Hobart has thrown in this game, and it was the sophomore Weiss who completed it.
Yeah, Union doesn't instantly sniff that one out, but as soon as the pass comes, Union D-line able to turn around and chase down the play. That was Charlie Johnson, the aforementioned, coming down and making that tackle to make this a difficult third down situation.
3rd and 6. Coach DeWall said we've already seen 2 Hobart quarterbacks. Said all 3 of them are different, but we can run our offense through all 3 of them. This is going to be a pass from Weiss. It's completed, and it's good enough for the first down as it's Johnny Harding who gets up to the 34-yard line, pickup of 9 on 3rd down. It'll be a first down for the Statesmen.
Yeah, with the forward progress there, one of the first passing plays, Union's started to lean a little bit more to the run side, which they've had to because of how successful the rushing game has been so far for Taylor. Leads for a nice one up the middle there for the Statesmen.
Ice back to pass. He's got time. He's going to deliver it down the field. He's got a receiver, and there was a lot of contact as it was, I believe, Matt Mitchell running in step for step with Marcus Peterson.
Yeah, Matt Mitchell was beat there, but the ball was a little bit underthrown. At that point, you can't look back. You got to just keep running, try to make it to the receiver, and unluckily ends up a couple seconds too early. Thought that ball was going to come down quicker than it did.
So the flag goes on Mitchell there, but Coach Drock said he couldn't say enough good things about Matt Mitchell, the senior from Medford, Mass. Basically said he's been locking down everybody that he is faced up against and been an absolute blanket, and teams won't even throw in his direction. Well, that time Hobart did. They were looking for the junior Peterson down the field, and a lot of time to throw for Jeremy Weiss.
Yeah, Mitchell's a couple of yards behind there. At some point, that is a worth it penalty to take, much better than a long touchdown for the Statesmen as a quick, I believe, a false start will go against the Statesmen to mute what was a very good play for Hobart.
Yeah, it's the left tackle, Ashton Mejias, the senior. A little early on the movement, and it's a 5-yard false start. That'll back the Statesmen up to the 44-yard line. 11:20 to go in this first half. Union leading 7-0. Weiss takes the shotgun snap. He's going to hand it to Taylor. Taylor gets away from one tackle, gets away from another tackle. Now he's got a head of steam. He's onto the Union side of the field. 35, and he's pushed out of bounds close to the 20-yard line. A big run from E.J. Taylor as he rips off a big one. They spot it at the 21, so it's a pickup of 35 for Taylor, and all of a sudden Hobart is cooking.
Yeah, I think that was Harry Hinkle coming up with the tackle. Union College safeties bit. Weren't able to find him on the first try, so had to go for the chase down, able to get that one to save a touchdown.
This time they're going to hand it off. Counter play, jumping back inside is Hobart's number 32 there, which is Kieran Cotter, the senior. Picks up about 3, and it'll be second down. 10:30 to go in this opening half. Union 7, Hobart nothing. 2 drives for each team. This is the second one for the visiting Statesmen. Good crowd here on hand. It helps to have great weather, but this is homecoming and family weekend here in Schenectady, New York, and just an outstanding crowd here at Frank Bailey Field. Weiss with a hard count. Shotgun takes the snap, hands it off. Nothing there for Cotter. Back-to-back runs for Cotter, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 3. Ball's right at the 15-yard line.
Big 3rd down now. This has been 2 straight drives where it's felt like pretty easy progress for Hobart. Last one was saved by a touchdown, but now the Union College defense has a chance to stop them on 3rd and 4.
Huge play in this first half. Under 9.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Looks like Taylor is in the Wildcat, and he gets hit hard and taken down. It's going to be 4th down, and it's a big hit there from Harry Hinkle as we've called Hinkle's name a couple of times on this drive. And not only did Hinkle get up there and make that stop, E.J. Taylor got hit awkwardly, kind of down low as he was being tackled, and you could see he kind of had his leg planted and then kind of got knocked. And so he is down on the field, and that is obviously a gigantic problem for this Hobart offense.
Yeah, it was a huge play coming off the edge. What looked like a hole was opening up there. It looked like they could make the push for the first down. Hinkle coming off the edge, able to get the tackle from behind. A big blow for the stop on third down. It might be a bigger one with this injury.
Yes, for certain. I mean, we talked about it earlier with Cam Freeze when he got dinged up. Integral part of the Union offense. This is the Hobart offense right now is E.J. Taylor, junior reigning Offensive Player of the Year in the Liberty League, and he looks to be up and walking off, which is a good sign. Now kind of jogging.
Even if he's relatively uninjured, hopefully you still lose him for this play, which is a very important 4th and 4.
Well, it looks it looks like Luke Montaigne is going to come out and attempt a field goal here from 31 yards. Ball just inside the right hash. Montaigne's kick is blocked. It is blocked as the Union defense, Charlie Johnson, comes to the sideline and is trying to pump up the crowd. Montaigne was 3 of 4 on field goals this season, now 3 of 5 as Union's defense again makes a big play.
Yeah, Union defense, they've been able to get their hands on a couple of those so far this year, and Charlie Johnson, big man, gets up there, gets his hands in the way. That field goal just didn't quite have enough air under it. That's a huge play to keep a 7-0 lead.
Montaigne had not missed many kicks, as we said, 3 of 4 from field goals, 7 of 8 extra points. Has that one blocked, and so Union's offense will come back out on the field now with 8:52 to go in the first half. So this defense, 2 Hobart drives, Connor. They get a turnover on the first drive, and they block a field goal attempt on drive number 2. So those are drives that, you know, when you're Hobart, if you're Hobart, the offense is moving the ball down the field. We get all the way down to the other side, no points. Those are demoralizing drives for an offense. When you have success, but you're not able to put any points on the scoreboard, as Union's first play is a run up close to the 17-yard line. I believe it was DiNardo.
Yeah, demoralizing, Andy, and also just tiring. I mean, you just went 70 yards for basically 0 gain on the scoreboard. Just difficult place for the offense. You see them sitting down now on the far sideline. Got to talk this over and figure out a way to get on the scoreboard.
8:20 to go in the first half. Union leading 7-0. Flanagan, the shotgun snap, a little high. Finds Quinn. Quinn gets knocked out of bounds. It's good for a first down as he was pushed out of bounds by Isa Abdus Salam, but not before a first down pickup.
First time we've seen Union throw a quick out today. In a couple of their games, that's been their go-to, trying to find those soft corners, playing a little bit too far back, and make those quick out passes. Those are safe passes for Flanagan. Difficult to make because of how far he has to throw it, but he's done a great job of getting those where his receivers can get them and the DBs can.
I thought you were going to say it's the first time I've had to say Isa Abdus Salam as he made the tackle there. Here's a run. Flanagan still on his feet. Midfield, 40, 35, 30. And a big run for Patch Flanagan all the way down inside the Hobart 30. Goes Patch Flanagan on a play that didn't seem like it had a lot behind it. He picks up 35.
Yeah, just an innocuous run play like we've seen so many times from Flanagan, but he has that skill, that speed to turn those short yardage runs into big, massive plays for Union. Come up the sideline, outspeeded multiple Hobart DBs before finally getting caught at the 30.
Big play for the Liberty League's leading rusher, Patch Flanagan. Now will hand it off to DiNardo. Traditional run play, and they don't get much. Billy Brosco, the sophomore, there on the stop. No gain, maybe a loss of 1 for DiNardo.
Yeah, a little miscommunication on the right edge between the Union College tackle and tight end. Didn't quite get the chip they needed. Let him come down the lane and get a good tackle on DiNardo.
So 2nd down and 11, under 7 minutes to go in this first half. Union 7, Hobart nothing. Flanagan, shotgun, takes the snap. Quick pass, caught by DiNardo out of the backfield. He lowers his head, and a big collision on that far sideline as he gets inside the 25. Pickup of 6 or 7, so to bring up 3rd and short. The 8th reception of the season for Michael DiNardo.
Same game plan for Union. Threaten the route at the middle, find those easy passes in the soft corners, and that one's a big gain to make this a manageable first down.
3rd and 4 for Patch Flanagan in the offense. He's going to fake the handoff, keep it himself, and he's going to push the pile close to the first down marker. They're going to say it's enough for the first down over on that far sideline. It's going to be a first down at the Hobart 20.
Big first down for Union, but I want to bring it up notably. Haven't seen Cam Freeze back on the field. Instead, their tight end so far has been Declan Flaherty, the backup who we see in quite often, especially in 2 tight end sets, so a very capable player in his own right. Yep. But a big loss for Union, as we've seen Freeze on the sideline, helmet off so far this drive.
High snap, Flanagan takes it down. They're going to set up the screen. DiNardo got a blocker in front of him, and he's pulled down from behind, and it might be a face mask on McGee as it was close to the first down at the 11, but it's going to be a first down thanks to this penalty as McGee rode him out of bounds with his hand on the face mask. So it should set up 1st and goal here for Union as we await the call. So a big penalty there as it gives Union a 1st and goal, Connor.
Yeah, and that adds to a trio of mistakes from McGee. He had that personal foul on the starting kickoff as well.
He's one of the veteran players, as we've said, senior leading tackler.
Yeah.
Has had a good season so far against the Hobart defense that's been banged up throughout this year. Flanagan with a running back to each side. He's going to take the shotgun snap. Looks to throw. Now he pulls it down. He's looking for a lane. He's got a lane, and he's in for the touchdown. 5-yard rushing touchdown for Patch Flanagan, and it's 13-0 Union.
Union College O-line is stellar there. Hobart sends the pressure. Pocket collapses a little bit, but the Union College O-line is able to hold out long enough to give Patch Flanagan a chance to find his hole, scramble, and get a place to get into the end zone.
A good drive from the Union offense, and Francesco Pileggi out for the extra point. 5:11 to go here in the first half. Pileggi's kick is up, and it is good out of the hold of Mac McManus. So with 5:11 to go here in the first half, it's Union 14, Hobart nothing. And 2 rushing touchdowns for the senior quarterback Patch Flanagan, now up to 6 rushing touchdowns on the season. And we talked about it, Connor. He's had a huge play to kind of get them all the way down the field. We talked about he's the leading rusher in the league.
Yeah.
Averages coming into today's game 7.7 yards per carry, which, you know, obviously that's almost a first down every time you carry the football. And, you know, he's really started to dial it in, right? Early in the season, maybe some miscues, some turnovers. He's really played within himself, and we heard Coach Drock talk about it in the pregame. You know, if he just does what he can do to be successful, this team moves the football pretty efficiently.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a difficult combination to defend. Obviously, you want to get to the quarterback. You want to rush him. You want to make him hurry on those passes. But then when you get in the backfield, it's almost like you have another problem to deal with. Now he's a rusher. He can get to the outside, and on a play like that, you get pressure on the quarterback, but it turns into a touchdown anyway because he has such efficient legs.
Ryan Moldering with the kickoff. It's taken at the goal line, starting up and stopping, and Making a nice tackle there on the Union special teams is number 14, a first-year Colt Wales. There's also a flag, so how about that? Wales makes the tackle. He may have also been held while he was making the tackle.
Yeah, there was a guy on Wales' back as he made that tackle, which makes it all the more impressive.
And another miscue here for Hobart. And, when we talked to Coach DeWall this week, he said, adversity, right? Adversity is the name of the game. This is not where Hobart usually is at this time of the year. They are 1-4, but he said, listen, we trust our process. He said, listen, adversity is not only the name of the game sometimes in football, but in life. And you got to, overcome that type of adversity. He mentioned a few different things, injuries, turnovers. He said, these aren't excuses. These are variables. This is why we are where we are. We're just trying to get back to playing Hobart football and doing what we do successfully. But unfortunately, they've had some ill-timed penalties here in this first half. And this one backs them up inside the 10, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the sophomore Jeremy Weiss. Weiss with the hard count, and it looks like he got up. Oh, no, it's a false start. It looked like Charlie Johnson jumped. But apparently Johnson jumped because one of the offensive linemen for Hobart was moving up front.
Yeah, now this buries Hobart deep, sitting on their own 2-yard line now. That was after the return was outside of the 10. Personal foul and then false start, pushing them back. This is a huge opportunity for Union to really take control of this game and get a quick turnover.
So the ball spotted at the 3-yard line, 1st and 10. Weiss will take the shotgun snap inside the end zone. He's going to throw it. It's tipped up in the air, and a dangerous pass there. Looked like it was Logan Miller who got his hand on it. And I'm not exactly sure if that's what Hobart wants to be doing in the shadow of its own goal line.
Yeah, Grenier took a dive at that one, thought he had a chance of getting the interception. I don't think he was particularly as close as maybe he acted like he was. But that could have been a big-time turnover for Union. Either way, stuck at 2nd down on your own 2-yard line.
5:02 to go in the first half. Union leading 14-0. Hobart backed up again. Weiss takes the shotgun snap from his own end zone. Has some time. Now he's hit and the ball comes out. The ball is loose. It's covered up by offensive lineman Javon James, and it's going to be a safety and 2 points for this Union defense.
And that's a 4-man rush there for the Union D-line. They didn't send the house, just let their 4 men do what they do. And this D-line has just been phenomenal so far this year, and they get there again.
Well, we questioned maybe throwing the ball from that end zone, especially because Hobart has run the football effectively. And Weiss there just did not know time and space because Logan Miller was bearing down on him. And Hobart, to be quite honest, is lucky that that was not a touchdown for Union and just a safety as Javon James was able to jump on top of it.
Yeah, really surprised, especially after the first passing play went so awry.
Yeah.
Went for it again. I thought at that point, 2nd down on your own 2-yard line, might just have to call the drive and go a couple run plays. And even the way they've been running the ball, honestly, wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't have been able to fight for a 1st down with a couple of run plays.
So because of the safety, Hobart will kick it away. 4:54 to go here before halftime. It's now Union 16, Hobart nothing. So Union stands to get terrific field position here, as the free kick will come from the Hobart 20-yard line. As it's number 39, a first-year Gavin Harvey, who's going to kick it away from the Hobart 20. The Union returners are standing at about the 30-yard line, 25, 30-yard line. So Union should get good field position here. Good kick, pushes Gore all the way back to the 20. 25, 30, starts to the near sideline, and he'll step out of bounds at the 40. And so Union does have good field position here with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in this first half. And Connor, so far everything is going in Union's direction.
Yeah, this Union defense not quite able to stifle Hobart so far, but just came up with a huge play on every drive. It was a tackle in the end zone there to get the safety. It was a blocked field goal. It was a stop on 3rd and 3. It was getting that fumble recovery on the first drive. They've just came up with the biggest plays of this game when they needed to.
And although this is a 2-possession game still, Union has controlled this half for the most part. Now, granted, Hobart has moved the football, but they've turned the ball over a couple of times, a blocked field goal attempt. So Union would love to tack on some more points. There's a flag down on the far side of the field as Flanagan runs for 2. And this looks like it'll be a procedure call against the offense. So these two teams, I mean, we talked about it. They're coming in kind of going in different directions. Union's won 3 in a row. They're 3-2, 2-0 in league play. Hobart is 1-4 and staring at potentially their first 3-game losing streak since 1997. And, I'm getting up there in age, and every time I think 10 years ago was 1997. No, that was 28 years ago since the last time Hobart has lost 3 straight games. They're obviously hoping that doesn't happen, trailing by 2 scores here with 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. But, 2 programs going in different directions, at least for the time being. We thought this would be a close game. So far, Union has controlled it as they complete that pass to Flaherty, I believe, who caught that ball and gets up to the 44-yard line. It will be a pickup of 9, and it'll bring up 2nd and 6.
DJ Wright in the backfield for Union. Going to move to a 4 wide receiver set, taking out their tight end.
If Flaherty comes off the field, we told you about Freeze. He got hit hard early in the game and didn't have his helmet before on the last drive. I don't see him on the sideline currently. There he is, still doesn't have his helmet. Here's DiNardo running right, trying to get to the edge, and he's pushed out of bounds. Good job by this Hobart defense led by McGee. And also coming up from the secondary, Sorrell Cox.
DiNardo able to use his speed there, turn a nothing play into a couple of yards. He'll head out as Flaherty comes back in as the tight end. They're going to keep DJ Wright in the backfield. He's been used a lot as a pass protection option. Has done a great job so far today of picking up rushers in the backfield. 3rd and 3.
Union leading 16-0. 3:30 to go in the first half. This is a big 3rd down here, especially for the Hobart defense. Flanagan's pass to the far side. It is incomplete. They were looking for Corrigan on that far sideline, and this will bring up 4th down, and Union will punt the ball away.
There's a miscommunication there between Flanagan and his receiver. Tried to throw that one so it would be right there for him at the top of the route. Could be the route went too deep. Could be the pass was a little too far in. Could be somewhere in the middle of the two things, but not quite enough to get the first down there as we see the first punt of the day for Union.
So out to punt. As it takes another Union bounce and rolls out at about the 10-yard line in front of Johnny Harding. So it backs Hobart up again. Not ideal field position to start for the Statesman. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 11.
Yeah, second time that Evan Anderson put a good spin on that one. Got it going Union's way. Luckily for Hobart on this one, not getting pinned as deep as they were before.
Not as deep, but
still
pretty deep.
About the same spot where the other one was, but then
they
2 penalties pushed them further back. But still in the danger zone. This way this Union D line has been playing.
We've been updating you on the Hobart quarterback that's out there. This looks like it's the junior True Styles who's out there to start this drive, and they've had 3 quarterbacks that they've used this year. Aiden Conrath is injured, but he's actually their leading passer. So we've seen Styles and Jeremy Weiss. They're going to hand this off to Taylor, and Taylor goes out of bounds after a pickup of a couple.
Taylor making a good move there, realizing that Union doesn't have that edge fully set. Able to get around and get a couple of yards. I think a 4-yard gain on first down. maybe a little bit slow for him today, as it
Yeah.
seems like most of his have been 6 or 7. His average is at 5.1 for the season so far.
11 carries for 86 yards in this first half, 7.8 yards per carry for Taylor. Hobart just has not been able to finish the drives off. Here's Styles. He's going to throw. Now he tucks it, and he gets hit hard by Dwayne Hines at the 18-yard line, 17-yard line.
Combo of Hines and Johnson coming down with that tackle, hyping up the Union sideline for a big-time third down.
Neither coach electing to take a timeout here. 2:19 to go in the first half. It's 3rd and 4. The interesting here, I assume if Union stops Hobart, they would take a timeout. Maybe Hobart takes a timeout if they get the first down here. Shotgun snap. It's Weiss who comes in on 3rd down. He throws. The pass is caught, and a lot of room to run. Off to the races. Johnny Harding. A big 3rd down as he's pushed out of bounds by Trey Resendez, but he goes all the way down inside the 15. A huge gain there on the cook-up as Weiss came in on that 3rd down and connected with the sophomore Harding, and we have the 2-minute timeout.
And Weiss, the sophomore there, showing some amazing composure. Coming in off the edge, that was Nico Savini, the sophomore free safety for Union. He was just straight barreling on the way in, and Weiss got nailed in the pocket after making that pass, but doesn't matter as it was a huge gain to try to get back in this game for the Statesmen.
Big pickup there. Weiss had not the longest pass he had completed so far in this first half was 9 yards. I can tell you that was many more yards than 9 as it goes all the way down to the Union 15-yard line, as it was a 68-yard pass, it looks like, from Weiss to Harding.
First trip of the day. Hobart almost got on the red zone, was kept just outside before the fumble ended that drive. The second trip ended with a field goal blocked inside of the red zone, stopping any points on the board so far for the Statesmen. Looking for a little more success on this drive. Ball sitting on the 14 currently.
Plenty of time here, 1:54 to go before halftime. I mean, you said it. I mean, Union has dominated this first half. Hobart's moved the football, but they've had some miscues, a turnover, a blocked field goal, and they are one play away from really changing the dynamic of this game as it's 1st and 10 Hobart from the Union 15. Actually, I'm sorry, it's inside the 15. They're going to hand it to Taylor. Taylor running to his left. He gets down to the 10-yard line. No, it was at the 15, so it's a 4-yard pickup to the 11, where it'll be 2nd down. Plenty of time here, 1:40 to go in this first half. Union leading 16-0. So Hobart in no rush here, although they've got to keep an eye on the clock. 1:30 now.
Today, the Union defense, really the model's been bend, don't break. They've been forced back a couple of times into their own territory. So far, haven't let up any points. Looking to repeat that here, but it's been a fearsome run game of these Statesmen.
2nd and 6. Ball at the 11. It's going to be Weiss. He's standing high in the pocket. He's going to throw it into the end zone, and it's just over the hands of his intended target. There is a flag down on the far side of the field. I didn't see what it was. It looks like Union's clapping, yeah.
I think he's going on against the offense, either for formation or some kind of illegal motion.
The intended target on that pass was Luke Heskak, the 6'5" tight end.
Yeah, Union did a good job in coverage, really left the only option to be a jump ball. As they're ready to move this one back, but we haven't got an announcement yet.
So an eligible man downfield.
Yeah.
So, they declined the penalty, does Union. That's an interesting decision here. Makes it 3rd down, 1:05 to go here in the first half. So you decline the penalty, it's 3rd and 6. It would have been 2nd and 11. So see how that pans out here. Interesting call from Union head coach John Drock to pick up a down, big hit, as coming through is Grenier, and he was shot through like a cannon and sacked Weiss, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Grenier, a really aggressive, strong safety back there. We've seen it all day. Sometimes it can hurt him coming a little too fast off the edge, but there it's perfect. Comes through a wide open hole and comes with a big-time sack to now send the kicking team onto the field. Reminder, the last kick was blocked by Charles Johnson. It was a big play to keep Hobart off the scoreboard, looking to do the same thing today.
This is Montaigne, Luke Montaigne, the longest kick he has this season, 37. Union didn't spend a timeout, so Hobart's going to tick it all the way down and then take a timeout, I think, although the play clock started very late. So they're just, I guess, going to take it down to maybe 3 seconds perhaps and take a timeout and have this be the final play of the first half.
And this would just about tie his long.
Yeah, 37 is his long.
This will be about 37 as well.
So Hobart takes the timeout with 3 seconds to go. And look, it's not a touchdown. If Hobart can get some points on the scoreboard, though, they maybe feel a little bit of momentum going into into halftime because, again, this is a half where they've had some miscues. They've moved the football well, and if you're Coach DeWall, you say, hey, we can do that and limit some of the mistakes. You know, we don't turn the ball over down in the Union end. We convert a field goal. Now we can potentially convert another field goal. It could be 3 scores there that we could have. We could be right in this game.
Yeah, this could really be easily a 16-13 game.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you need some kind of semblance of momentum, positivity heading into the locker room. You get the ball back after halftime as well, so momentum would mean big going on to another drive after the half.
So you said it. It looks like this is going to be a 37-yard field goal, which would match his season long for Montaigne. The kick is up, and it is good. So the final play of the first half, a 37-yard field goal from Luke Montaigne. And after one half of play here from Frank Bailey Field, the score in this ever-important Liberty League game is Union 16, Hobart 3. Connor, your thoughts on that first half?
I mean, dominant Union half. Offensively, can't ask for much more. I mean, rarely stopped by the Hobart defense. Great plays by Patch Flanagan. Threw the ball where he needed to. Didn't get too aggressive with it. Made great play with his legs. Whole Union offensive line, just phenomenal blocking, opening up holes. Able to get the ball in enough for the Union offense, and the defense, like I said before, bend don't break. They got pushed back a little bit. It was a great Hobart run game. But when they needed the big plays, they came up with big plays. Got that fumble recovery on the first drive, came with a big stop on 3rd down, blocked the field goal, and then came up with the safety on 2nd down for Hobart on their own end zone.
So a terrific crowd here. It's halftime. Teams making their way off the field. We will step aside for a break, but tremendous crowd here. It's homecoming. It's family weekend. And if you're in the Capital District, come on down. It should be a good second half here, as at the half, it is Union 16, Hobart 3. Connor, I'm going to let you take it from here as we'll step aside for a halftime break, and then you'll take us the rest of the way here in the second half, and it should be a good finish if the first half is any indication.
Yeah, definitely.
And Union's trying to continue its 3-game win streak and stay undefeated in the Liberty League. Hobart trying to end its 2-game losing streak and pick up its first league victory, but it should be a good second half. So we'll step aside, and Connor will be back and bring you the second half of action here from Frank Bailey Field.
welcome back for the second half of what's been an exciting matchup between Union College and the Hobart Statesmen. So far, 16-3. I'll give you a quick scoring update, but it's really been all Union so far. Union defense following the motto, bend, don't break. Rushing game for Hobart's been able to find a lot of yards, but rarely found their way in the end zone. Their first drive thwarted by a fumble recovery for Union. Further than they had a blocked kick on their second drive. Third one, Union got a safety after pinning them inside the 1 after a duo of penalties moved the Statesmen back from the 10 to the 2-yard line. Let Union get the safety. But then Hobart on their final drive able to make it down the field and then make their kick in the red zone, finally getting points, bringing a little bit of momentum into this third quarter, hoping to make this a one-score game. Like I said, their rushing game's been good. That last drive was really I'll say their rushing game has been great. That last drive was capped off by a long 63-yard pass, which got them down the field on third down. Penalty pushes Union back 5 yards. Out to kick this one. That was Ryan Muldrig, and Union gets a tackle. They've done a phenomenal job tackling on special teams so far. Saw Terrence Hanratty in there, the first-year linebacker, helping to get that tackle. It was really a swarm of Garnett jerseys helping out, as Hobart will start their first drive of the second half. Currently down 13 points, looking to make this a one-score game. Union with 2 touchdowns, a safety, and a pair of punts on their drives. Their rushing game is what's worked best for this Hobart team throughout the season and today, but really the passing game, a couple of big plays what have kept them in this game. So helping them get the 3 points before half. This rush up the middle makes it through. Finally being stopped as the ball comes out late in the play. The whistle didn't come, even though progress was stopped. Looks like we'll play on. I don't know if that's ruled as a fumble that was recovered. Didn't even really see the fumble from my angle or from your angle at the camera, but you can see the reaction from the Union players. Looked like the ball came out. So that was a hefty gain. Rush at 8. For Taylor. And now Taylor stopped in the backfield, but able to escape the tackle. Number 9, Jordan Black, had him in the backfield, but not able to finish the play. Gets a first down for the Statesmen. 14:02 left. This has really been how most of the Statesmen drives have went. They've been able to methodically rush the ball down the field, but finishing has been an issue for them. And on that one, the only drive they really didn't move the ball was when they were stuck at their own 2-yard line. It was 2 consecutive passing plays on the second. A big-time sack, fumble, and the recovery turned into the 2 points for Union as Dwayne Hines hunts down a Hobart receiver, tackles him for a short gain on that quick out. We've seen a couple people in the backfield for the Statesmen so far. Try to keep you updated on what quarterback is in there. E.J. Taylor has really been the focal point of this offense. Weiss was the one who made a big pass before halftime to help secure that 3 points. As it is Jeremy Weiss in there handing it off. First fumble of the game came from True Styles on an RPO. He wasn't able to hold on to that as
Him and E.J. Taylor competed over the ball, and that kind of led to the spiral that's led to a 2-score game for Hobart, where they've seemed to play relatively competitively throughout the whole game, but not quite shown on the scoreboard. And now here's a huge third down, 3rd and 7. Union sideline getting hyped. We still have a phenomenal crowd here, as I'm sure you can see on the camera. The hill is just absolutely packed with tailgates, Union students, parents, alumni. 4-man front for Union. Come out, it's a screen to the side to the running back, Taylor. Taylor slips, and that'll cost him some precious yardage. A good team tackle from Union. Number 43, John Dragaitis. Able to come through. He was one of the main ones, but really just great team tackling from Union. Been one of the highlights of this defense. They've just done a great job playing aggressive, running their way to the ball on every single play. It's going to force a punt for the Statesmen, and this kills the little bit of momentum they had going into the half. They got those 3 points just as time was expiring on that first half. This punt has a good trajectory, but caught by Caden Gore. He's going to go to his left. He has tons of space. Comes off, ball fumbled, and it's going to be recovered by Union. Real heads-up play by Cole Brisson. I'm sorry, that won't be Cole Brisson. I'll try to get you the number. That's the backup quarterback. That's Colt Wales, who we actually saw come up with some big-time plays earlier in this game for the Garnett Chargers. The first-year defensive back from Marblehead, Massachusetts. We've already called his name. He came up with a big tackle earlier. Back out here. Rush goes short for Union. That's Michael DiNardo. He's been the leading running back for this Union team. Obviously, the leading rusher has been Patch Flanagan, leading all of the Liberty League. He had 452 coming into this weekend. Counterplay coming, and this time Flanagan's not able to find space. Looks like he just gets enough progress to make it back to the line of scrimmage. But maybe a rare defensive stop coming in for Hobart. Most of the time when Union stuck to the run, they've been very successful, but their 2 running plays only nets a total of 3 to 4 yards. They will call it 4. It's 3rd and 6. Union switches to 10-man. 1 tight end, 0 running backs, 4 wide receivers, 3 out to his right. Patch Flanagan looks right, has to come back, goes for the rushing play. No one there, no spy for Hobart. Spins to get an extra 5 yards. And that's the danger of Patch Flanagan. Liberty League leading rusher. You find good coverage, you think you have him, escapes the pocket, and then there was just no one there to tackle him. Surprised that Hobart hasn't stuck to a spy yet, but Union really hasn't relied on the pass game as much. So that scrambling of Patch Flanagan hasn't been the danger today. It's more been the designed run plays with him and DiNardo. But there, the scramble gets Union a much-needed first down and brings them into Hobart territory. Handoff to DiNardo. He cuts left. No hole. Union O-line gets pushed back a tad on the left side. DiNardo tries to find something. Would have been better off cutting it up the middle and putting his head down, trying to look for a big play. DiNardo will stay in. We've talked a little bit about a notable loss for this Union College team. You see Declan Flaherty in, a very capable tight end in his own right, but the loss of Cam Freeze to a hit to the head earlier is Pash Flanagan rolls out right, decides to run it, gets hit, spun around, and will land about 3 yards short of the first. Really interesting to see how Flanagan thinks about this offense. You see, he had a receiver open there right in front of him, but really no defense there to make him throw the ball, so he thought better off just running it. You get an extra blocker from that wide receiver. Worked out with a heavy gain, but now stuck at 3rd and 4. 8 minutes left in this third. Union taking their time. Very happy to take as much time off the clock as they can. Designed run to Pash Flanagan. No room up the middle. That's going to be a gain of 0. As it looks like this Hobart defense has made some good halftime adjustments. Adjusting to the Union run game, especially these designed runs from Flanagan. It's going to look like the punt unit's coming out. Wouldn't be surprised if Union went for this one. But doesn't look like it's going that way. Might try to draw them off sides. Only 4th and 4, as that was a gain of 0. Fake is always an option here. They come out quick, trying to maybe catch this offense off sides as a flag does come out. It's a quick punt, bouncing, and a little too much. Goes into the end zone. But everyone holding their breath to see what this flag was. It's going to be a false start, as I see an early signal coming from the referee. Yeah, Union trying a little too hard to be tricky there. And it's going to end up as I think they would decline this penalty with the touchback rather than make Union re-punt where they could pin them, especially with a couple extra yards to punt. But haven't gotten the official dictation yet. Oh, I'm sorry. So this will be a legal formation. So instead of having a possible penalty before the kick, it will be actually enforced after the kick, an extra 5 yards on top of the touchback for Hobart. So one of the better field positions they've had today. Union hasn't given up any good field position for the Statesmen. This Union defense just done a great job making big plays. As I said earlier, struggled to stop the run, but hasn't mattered as much because of the huge plays they've came up with to stop scoring. As the drop back comes, ball fired down the left sideline. Has a man, it's caught. Tackled quickly, that's number 3. That's Harding, one of the leading receivers for this team. Had 207 coming in, the leading receiver actually playing today, as this Hobart team has been riddled by injuries. 207, 2 touchdowns coming in today, and gets a big reception there. This is starting to look similar to the Hobart scoring drive we saw right before half. That was capped by a big pass that got them downfield, able to run it enough to get into field goal range. As we'll go for another pass, this one a short one, but under pressure, number 16, Jeremy Weiss, unable to get it to his intended receiver. The leading passer, as I was talking about how this Hobart team has dealt with so many injuries, leading passer for this Hobart team is out today. Weiss is second in that category. 288 coming in today with 1 touchdown, 50% throwing. Really, all of these Hobart QBs have had some running and passing options, but so far today we've seen True Styles as more of a running QB and Jeremy Weiss is more of a passing threat, as he's completed a couple of big passes for the Statesmen. 4 wide receiver, handoff to the right. Union doesn't read it right. Able to collect themselves, but not after a 7-yard gain for Taylor. This Hobart team has ran some options, some RPOs, and you saw there the end for Union. I don't know what player it was, but he bit down the line, went for the quarterback, and that let Taylor get to the outside. It's been an effective play for Hobart, but also maybe a challenging one, as that's what led to their fumble earlier between True Styles and Taylor. Styles tried to keep possession of it, tried to pull it, but Taylor wanted it too much, caused that fumble, and maybe cost 7 points on the board. As White steps back, it's going to be a screen to the tight end. He has space. Union able to make it past the lead blockers for a quick tackle, but not before the first down is made. That was number 88, Luke Heescock, the 6'5 junior, comes up with the first down. Officially in the red zone. Their first trip was stopped by a blocked field goal. Design run to the right to the left for Styles. He finds the edge. Union was able to push him out, extend the play all the way to the sideline, but no one there to make the tackle. Good blocks for the receivers of the Statesmen. That was True Styles at quarterback. Talked a little bit earlier. It's at least today he's seen more of the rushing threat. But coming into today, only 53 yards and 1 touchdown on the ground for Styles, as they've relied more on their star running back, Taylor, in that rush game. This one comes up the middle, a modest gain, but enough to get the first down and set down the sticks. It'll be first and goal at the 7. I want to say that was Taj Jackson in there. Now it'll be Taylor. Don't believe it was Taylor on that last rush play. 2 wide receivers out wide, 1 to the left. Tight end in. He's going to go in motion to a wing on the right side. Pitch play to Taylor. Taylor finds some space on the edge. Union defensive backs make it past their blocks. Able to push him out of bounds expeditiously. Just under 3:30 left. It's been a quick moving game. Both teams have relied heavily on the run. Kept the scoring relatively low for almost the end of the third quarter. It's because of these thwarted drives by Hobart, where they've gotten close but haven't been able to finish. Looking to get their first touchdown of the day. It's going to be a wildcat formation. Taylor taking the snap. Taylor goes to his left, has a lead blocker, the running back in the lineup. And that's going to... a touchdown, but maybe a controversial one. Seemed like a Union player got blocked in the back on the far edge. The refs disagree, and we'll believe him up here. Just under 3 minutes, the first touchdown of the day for the Statesmen. It'll be Taylor out of the Wildcat. 2:49 left, now 16-9. They're going to go for 2. Currently, it's a 7-point game. Actually, I'm sorry, they're not going to go for 2. I misread the alignment. Just as I was questioning myself, why would they go for 2 in this situation? Looking to make it a 6-point game, so less than a touchdown. The extra point will go 16-10. 2:49 left in the third. Union offense has to respond as this Hobart crowd is finally getting something to celebrate about. They had a little bit of momentum at the end of the first half, getting that field goal. This is the first time they've really had an all-in-all successful drive, making it all the way down and punching it in. With, I mean, who else would you expect? E.J. Taylor, the star running back of this team. He lit Union up last year in this matchup. Hobart with a 27-0 win. And he was an essential part of that win with 140 yards and a touchdown. We talked a lot about how Patch Flanagan has been an amazing rusher, leader of the Liberty League. And guess who's right behind him is E.J. Taylor, second in the Liberty League. He was the Offensive Player of the Year in 2024. So far this year, he has 5.1 average on rushing. He's been doing even better than that today. First half, he had 7.8. Might even be better after that was a very successful drive for Taylor and his crew. Kind of highlighted by some plays I keep forgetting about because of how few pass plays. As that kickoff will go out of bounds, good field position for Union off the start. As we really haven't seen this Hobart team pass much, but the highlight of their 2 scoring drives have been big passes down the field. Both coming from Jeremy Weiss. Try to get you some live stats as this game continues. But Union, an essential drive here to reclaim the momentum. Five-yard penalty. And Union's going to work with a re-kick here. Hobart ends up with having more total yards than Union right now, in both categories, 146 rushing yards to 102 for Union, 132 receiving yards for Hobart on just 88 for Union. Those really came off those 2 big plays, both 60-yard receptions, so obviously the vast majority of the yards there. Return goes to the right, one of the better tackles as a flag comes out very late. There's a Hobart player down behind the play, about 5-10 yards. I would think if that flag came out earlier, it would have been a block in the back based off where the player ended up on the ground. It was such a late flag, I would think more maybe unnecessary roughness category, waiting for the referees as they're conferring, looking like it's definitely going against Union. As maybe the first time that Union ends up with bad field position, as penalties and some good punts have thwarted the field position of Hobart early in this game. It will be a block in the back. So flag was thrown a little late, but more what you would expect for a flag in that area of the field rather than any kind of late extracurricular activity. As really late in this third quarter, Hobart leads in most of the offensive statistics. They've done a great job at moving the ball, just haven't been able to get in the end zone. Patch Flanagan step back, looking to his left. There's no one open. He's going to have to scramble. Has space in front of him to run. Gets past the 10. Not going to risk taking a hit. Will get past the line of scrimmage, but not by much. If you're being generous, a 3-yard gain for the Liberty League leading rusher, Patch Flanagan. As I will highlight the loss of the day for Union, Cam Freeze. Now, equipment off on the sideline, took a hard hit to the head earlier where there actually was a flag thrown and then picked up. It's definitely an interesting play there that I'm sure people will be thinking about later in the week. Patch Flanagan looking to hand off to DJ Wright, the power back for this Union team. He finds a hole, dials up, and he keeps his feet driving. Finally, the whistle is blown, but I think he got a couple of extra yards there. Working at this offensive line to get a good push. Make this a very makeable 3rd and 2. Some unit switches. As I haven't seen Union go back to the double tight end since one of their tight ends has gotten hurt. This is maybe what you'd see in this situation normally. It's going to be DJ Wright again up the middle. He has to cut it to the outside, dives forward, and gets the first. DJ Wright, a little bit of intelligence, finding a hole not where it's supposed to be. Had to take a sidestep right, go right under his tackle, but enough space to dive forward and get the first. The important part for Union. Union sticking with the 11-man. One tight end, one running back. This is what you see them with most of the time. DJ Wright working as a lead block. Catching the guy off the end. Patch Flanagan with a successful run up the middle. This is more what you like to see from this Union offense. They had 2 rushes to start out their last series, which ended in a punt. But were unsuccessful in getting down the field in both of them. I thought maybe this Hobart off defense maybe figured out the Union run game a little bit, but Union offensive line, Union run game's gotten back to what they're supposed to be doing. Getting those 5-yard, 3-yard gains on first and second down. Going to be a pass to the outside. Gil Rivera comes down with it. First time we're saying his name. Gil Rivera, the leading receiver for this Union College team. He was the leader last year and continues that today. 295 yards throughout the season. Transfer from RPIs from Port Washington, New York. But really, first 2 games didn't have much going for him. Came alive in the last 3, 17 catches, 227 yards for 4 touchdowns. That's the vast majority of his catches, yard, and touchdowns for the year. Just came in those last 3 games since the start of the home season for Union. Versus Morrisville just a couple weeks ago. That'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Not what you want to see if you're a Union fan. 1 drive stopped for Union, 2 attempts for Hobart. First one, Union defense was able to stop them quite easily. The second one, you saw similar to what you saw at the end of the first half. A lot of successful run plays and 1 highlighted big 50-yard pass to get down the field. Union looking to respond, turn it back into a 2-score game. It is less than a touchdown now. Especially the way this game has been going. You don't see too many more possessions in these teams' futures. With the methodical drives both teams have had, could only hope to see maybe 2 more for each team. Patch Flanagan looking down the right sideline, has his man. Gil Rivera catches it. Bobbles able to hold on. Tackled from behind. He would have made it to the end zone, but had to focus on getting that ball down. And just as I said, first time today, a couple seconds ago, we called Gil Rivera's name. Now he comes up with a huge catch down the sideline to get Union in the red zone. Union College looking for their 2nd touchdown of the day. 14:31 left in the 4th. Just barely 1st and goal, ball on the 10-yard line. 3 wide receivers in for Union. Tight end to the right is DJ Wright in running back. He's going to block for Patch Flanagan. Goes to the right, finds 5 yards before spinning down. Ball comes out. Or, I'm sorry, ball doesn't come out. That was a helmet rolling down the field. They might make Patch Flanagan come off the field for this. They will. Be interesting to see who goes in for Union. I don't see a quarterback. As now I think they will. I have to find who this is. It's not the backup quarterback listed for Union. It is Cole Brisson. Sorry, we had a number mix-up here. I had Cole Brisson as 14. As Cole Brisson goes to the left, dives in, stopped at the 1. Does he get it? No. This entire Union stands was electric, hoping to get Cole Brisson a touchdown in his only play of the game. But still an amazing run. Coming off cold off the sideline, Cole Brisson comes in, gain of 4 to get Union to the 1. Back in. This is the kind of heavy formation we see for Union. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. DJ Wright in. He's been a heavy back, but he's acted more as a blocker for this offense. He's going to block out right. Patch Flanagan dives through. He gets the touchdown. Union College with a quick response, relying more on their passing game than they really have all day. The highlight play, pass down the right sideline for Gil Rivera. Try to get you the stats on how far of a gain that was. First long pass of the day for Union. They only had 67 receiving yards coming into that pass. Union to kick off. It's going to be Ryan Muldrig. My live stats are a little wonky right now, so I won't get you the yardage on that Gil Rivera pass. But I can tell you as much, if you weren't watching, it was a huge one down the right sideline. Could have been a touchdown, except he had a little bit of trouble getting it in, but luckily able to focus in, bring in that pass for a big game for Union. Carucci unable to make the tackle, but forces him out to his teammates who get him down at the 15. Union's made some big plays on special teams. Really net yardage on every kickoff for Union. No penalties this time, keeping Hobart in disadvantageous field position. It's 12:48 left in the fourth. I was talking earlier about how these teams might not have too many possessions going forward, but that Gil Rivera pass really sped up the Union possession. Only took them a couple extra runs to get in the end zone. As a sack comes in. Down goes Jeremy Weiss. That was Logan Miller. I was waiting for a quick confirmation. A lot of nines on this defensive line. Couldn't quite tell. But Logan Miller off the stunt comes around. Gets Jeremy Weiss. Union D-line has been phenomenal, especially at the pass rush. They've done a good job of not letting the rushers out as this one comes through. Pass up the middle. Well defended. But an even better catch. Keeps it to third down because of the loss of yardage. But Weiss finds one up the middle, perfectly placed. Lucas Coleman was there. Pass up the middle, knocked away. John Gaitis able to get through and get a PBU to end the drive for Hobart. Maybe the most important defensive play. Union's made some huge defensive plays today. Might be the biggest one, as they will go for it on fourth down late in this game, especially with how these possessions have been going. It's now a two-possession game. You have no idea how long Union could take. It's been a long time on every drive so far. So they're going to risk it here in the backfield. Jeremy Weiss to his left. It's Taylor. Taylor's going to defend. Weiss for the pass. Misses his guy. Far right. Unable to connect with Heathcock. And this Union defense gets a warm welcome on the sideline as a referee throws a flag. I think it'll be because the Union team. Yeah, I almost thought there was a timeout called because of how many Union players came off the sideline. As you see, Hobart's out there ready to play. An understandable flag, as this will be enforced. I mean, it'll be enough yardage for a first down, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, it was fourth down, so that was a turnover ahead of time. Either way, I think the referees will actually give them a warning on this. So I thought that might be a punting play for a second. I thought that was going to be a drastic size mistake for Union. It'll stay as a warning, even though I think the refs may have been in their right to give Union a penalty there. That was a lot of players off the sideline. It was a change of possession, so it was a stoppage of clock there. But definitely not a timeout. As DiNardo goes to his right, he's looking to pass. He'll end up just throwing it out. Down the field, it was number 88 for Union. That was Owen Corrigan. Corrigan not open. Good decision by DiNardo to not throw that ball downfield. Ended up not even trying to run it because of how well defended Hobart. That's how well Hobart defended the play. A little bit of talk here from the referees. I don't know if they didn't like the throw out of bounds. I mean, it couldn't be intentional grounding. It went out of bounds. It couldn't. Illegal man downfield, possibly. Don't really know what the refs are talking about here. No flags have came out. But a lengthy discussion. As Union's in the red zone, looking to put this game out of reach with an extra touchdown. 13-point lead. So obviously reachable in 2 scores. Even a field goal here, which Union is already in position for, would put this game much more difficult, making only a tie with 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. An interesting intentional grounding foul there. It's going to push Union back. That makes this field goal much more difficult, too, if Union doesn't get any extra yardage here. But from my understanding, I mean, the referees obviously, it pushed their understanding a little bit with how long they had to talk about it. There was no receiver in the area, but he was outside the pocket. I mean, he was a running back. Obviously, he was outside the pocket. Has a pass, completes to Gil Rivera. Takes an extra hit, but a 10-yard gain makes a manageable 3rd down. He was outside the pocket, and the ball made it past the line of scrimmage and out of bounds. In motion. The line judge who didn't like that one. False start against Union. Just after finding themselves a manageable 3rd down, they get pushed back. 3rd and 7 now. DiNardo in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Rivera outright. Dan Quinn out to the left. Pat Flanagan's going to put Rivera in motion. 3 wide receivers to the left. Flags are out again. Looks like it's going to be against Union. Can't tell if it's another false start or if it's the motion they didn't like. But this starts to put a threat to Union's field goal hopes even. Pending the penalty. Coach Drock, not a fan of this. Maybe just not a fan of his team here. The Union play was kind of sullied by the fact there were flags on the field. The penalty ends up being declined, obviously keep it 4th down, but it does make it a much more makeable field goal. They pushed him back and then maybe got another stop. Could have been more difficult. This one will end up being 38. It's definitely at the edge of an obvious field goal range. Ball comes back. Kick goes up. It looks short. Just gets through. The field goal is good to put this game just on the edge of 2 scores. The duo of Pelleggi and Mac McManus gets it done. He got a little bit chippy with that field goal. Thought it might come up short. You know it's close when that was shorter than the base of the field goal post, but made it just over the crossbar and long enough for Union to call this one a 26-10 game. 10-12 left. Both teams have 3 timeouts. Game plan if you're Hobart. You're a run-heavy team, but really the most success has been had through a couple of long passes. You're going to need one of those down the stretch to try to save some clock. But you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions just to tie this game. Obviously, some other combination, 2 touchdowns and a field goal could get you the lead. But if you want it to be a 2-score game, which with how both these offenses have been playing and taking up time, we only saw 3 possessions in that third quarter. That's already 3 possessions in this fourth quarter, obviously much shorter ones because of the 4th down turnover by Hobart and the quick 3 and out by Union turning into a field goal. But if these teams turn towards long, sustained drives, time could be short for the Statesmen. Looking to get just their 2nd win of the season. They've had a tough run of it to start Liberty League schedule. Played a 1-touchdown game at Ithaca, 13-7 was the loss. Obviously, Ithaca, often a powerhouse in this Liberty League conference. So while you'd love to come away with a win, there's a show of confidence there to get close with Ithaca. But then unable to come out with a win versus RPI. They've also played, I believe, including this game, they've played 4 of 6 away games. So that adds some extra difficulty to their schedule. First run up the middle, 5-yard gain. This has been the bread and butter, as we've talked about quite a bit, of this Hobart offense. Obviously, a lot of injuries as well. Injury to their top passing QB makes them rely on this a little bit more. In there, I can't tell. I think that's True Styles. Been their more rushing QB today. He's working with Taylor, hands it off. He thought about pulling it, and he should have, as Taylor is swarmed on the ground. A loss of 5 as Dragitis credited with the tackle, as the obvious switch at quarterback, or I'm sorry, no, True Styles is going to stay in there. Thought I saw number 16 come out. That was actually number 19 at wide receiver. Hopped on that a little too early. That's Luke Hansen. But you think about a pass play here, obviously on 3rd down, but you do have another down. I mean, you got to go for it. You already went for it in the same territory. Dropping back, that's Styles. Styles going to decide to run. Goes out to his right. He has the room. Gets the 1st down and more. Trucks a player. Ball comes out. No luck for Union. Goes straight out of bounds. But a huge 20-yard gain for True Styles to keep Hobart alive. Problem with this more run-heavy set. Already down 1 minute and 30 seconds. As they're going to actually say he went down in bounds. Actually, because of the fumble, yeah. They're going to keep the clock running after the truck and the fumble. I believe it's still True Styles in there. It's difficult to see from my angle. But Taylor is your real rushing threat. As no, it will instead be Weiss. Weiss looking downfield, throws it over the middle, almost intercepted. Flag on the field. Can't even really tell who that was on. They're going to call it on number 1, Nico Savini. Pass interference. That ball looks, I don't even want to say borderline uncatchable. It did not look like he had a chance of that. Maybe that's because he was held. But then you would think it would be a defensive holding instead of a pass interference. Either way, yardage gained with minimal time penalty. Obviously, that saves them a few seconds coming down the stretch. 8:10 left in this game. 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions needed for this Hobart team just to tie this game. 2 wide receivers out left. They got tight end wide receiver pulled in tight out right. Drop back to pass. It's Weiss. Weiss down the middle. Has a man wide open. Catch. Touchdown. Number 5. Marcus Peterson. The 6-foot junior. comes up with a big catch to put this game within reach for the Statesmen. And I was saying earlier, maybe had to make up a strategy change for Hobart with relatively limited time left, and there they scored with just within 2 minutes because of a couple big pass plays down the field. Saves a lot of time on clock and gives them another chance to get down here. They have to go for 2 to keep this to make this a one-score game. And they have the unit out now. It's going to be Weiss in at quarterback. He's the pass threat. Taylor in at running back. They want to keep it dual. Flag comes out. Refs briefly discuss. Pretty obviously going against the Statesmen. False start. Number 70. The 6'6" sophomore coming down with a brutal penalty. I mean, no reason to kick it at this point in the game. If you kick it, or if you make it, or if you miss this second extra point, it's either way, it's still a 2-score game. They're going to keep Weiss in there. Obviously, much more of a pass threat now that they've been pushed back. Weiss drops back. He's under pressure. He's hit. And that's number 97, Chuck Johnson, the 6-foot senior out of Allendale, New Jersey, comes up with a big pressure to keep this a 2-score game. Now 10 points behind. The Statesmen will need a stop, a touchdown, another stop, and a field goal to win this one. Could get into some other possibilities as well. Force a safety. Defensive touchdowns, obviously endless possibilities in a competitive game of football such as this. Union sideline yelling for water. A little bit of a miscommunication. Refs will rush him out on the field. Return team for Union, highlighted by Caden Gore, number 8, out back to return. Been successful so far today. Quick whistle, timeout, Union. They want to talk this one over. No room for mistakes here, trying to close out this game. 8:03 left in the fourth, 10-point lead for the Garnett Chargers. They've controlled most of this game, but Hobart's been nagging at their heels the whole time. Hobart has really led in most offensive categories, but a couple big plays by the Union defense kept them out of the end zone in the first half. Now Hobart's found their way in 2 consecutive times and are trying to get 2 more scores to be able to win this game. But it all has to start here with a stop against this Union College offense, which has been prolific, led by Patch Flanagan. They've done a great job in the past couple weeks. They've culled the amount of turnovers they've had, as it looks like maybe an onside kick team was the cause of Union. No one out back, though. Be interesting to see here if instead the Statesmen try to pin him instead of onside. Squib or something here could be difficult for Union. Onside kick comes high, bounces once, collected, and he'll go right down. That was Joe Curran, the junior wide receiver, making it maybe not the flashiest play all time for Curran, but an essential one to come down with that onside kick, and made a great choice of one of the big plays there. If you're on team onside kicking, you want to just nail the guy who catches the ball, try to get him to drop it. Joe Curran just goes straight down to the ground, doesn't give them any opportunity to cause a fumble. Patch Flanagan to his right, that's going to be DJ Wright. He's mostly acted as a pass protector today. Patch Flanagan will pull it, find some room to the outside, has a lead blocker, doesn't get much. Goes out of bounds, which disadvantageous for Union, a gain of 3. A little bit of miscommunication there. He had a great lead blocker out front. That was Kyle Webster, but Webster wasn't quite sure if Flanagan was behind him, took a quick look back, and that cost him a few precious seconds to get Webster out on a block. He came on the long pull from the left tackle position. Same formation for Union. 2 wide receivers out left, 1 out right with a tight end. DJ Wright in the backfield. Wright takes this one. He's patient with it, but not much space as the Hobart D-line crashes down. They're expecting the run from Union. They know Union wants to eat a little bit of clock here, at least as much as they can. More important thing is pushing the ball downfield, as now it's a long 3rd and 6. It's actually the scoreboard will call it 3rd and 7. I'm going to stick with my recommendation of 3rd and 6, but as they will switch to 3rd and 6. Again, say Union lost one of their main tight ends earlier in this game, Cam Freeze, with a hard hit to the head. So they're going to have a new tight end in here. It's going to be the backup Declan Flaherty along with Simon Petterelli, the freshman tight end. Normally you see a combination of Freeze and Flaherty in, but Freeze out currently. We saw him undressed on the sideline earlier. It's a big loss. He's been a phenomenal passing threat and blocking threat for Union, as they use this tight end set a lot, both as pass protection, as passing options, as run blocking. Really, they need their tight ends to be able to do it all. Very difficult job. Declan Flaherty has done a good job in replacement so far today. He's also done a good job all season as the second tight end coming in. But now he'll have to work with him and Petterelli, the first year from Natick Mass. Two tight end formation for Union. 1 on each side. 2 wide receivers out left. In the backfield is DJ Wright. 0 running backfield. No one to throw to. Patch Flanagan still looking downfield. Has a player. Gil Rivera gets the catch. Rivera out of bounds. Big time play to get into the red zone. Through the scramble. Patch Flanagan stays alive, keeps his eyes downfield, and Gil Rivera, just a phenomenal scramble drill, finds himself open on the near sideline. Huge completion between Flanagan and Rivera might bring this game to an end with a score here. 6 minutes left. It's a 2-score game currently. 10 points. They need a touchdown to make it 3. Run up the middle to DJ Wright. He gets a few before running into the secondary of Hobart. That'll be good for just about a 2-yard gain. DJ Wright's got a lot more time on the field as it's gone along. He's got a lot of versatility, picking up the blitz, going out for passes, being a power runner, lead blocker for Patch Flanagan. As really, that's one of the main jobs of running backs throughout this offense. As Patch Flanagan, obviously the leading rusher in the Liberty League and the leading rusher on this Union College team. Had over 450 coming into today and has bravely added to that as up the middle, getting some drive. DJ Wright pushing forward for the first down. got contact early, but kept those legs driving, and the Union O-line came behind him, letting him fall forward into 1st and goal at the 3. Union looking to punch this in. Normally this is a Patch Flanagan job. We almost saw his replacement, Cole Brisson, punch one in earlier. DJ Wright in the eye behind Flanagan. 2 tight ends, one to the left, one to the right, both in the wing. DJ Wright up the middle. Player off the edge. Grabs his legs. That's number 54. David Charles. Makes a great play to keep Union out of the end zone. But at this point, almost better to let Union score. This is some important seconds ticking off the clock. Almost down to 4 minutes. 2nd down, so if Union doesn't get in the end zone quick, could talk about another 80 seconds off the board. And I would say Union would definitely go for it on 4th down. Worst comes to worst, you pin the opposing team on their 1 with so little time. Let pass Flanagan to his right, and he has the space. Spins in. Touchdown Union. Making it a 3-score game. 32-16, just under 4 minutes remaining. And who do you think? Patch Flanagan gets it done for Union on the goal line. As the Union offensive line comes around to hype up the crowd, that's Nick Olivola. As a long extra point almost makes its way out of the entire stadium. Makes it a 17-point game for Union. As I see the sidelines celebrating. Obviously, Union believing that's the nail in the coffin. A 3-score game with under 4 minutes left. We'll be back in just a second for the end of this one after the Union kickoff. Ryan Muldrig with the boot. First contact at the 20, and he's now dragged back. As Union, especially the special teams, have done a phenomenal job today at team tackling. Only really one positive return for the Statesmen. Most of them have been tackled well behind the 20-yard line. This one will get forward progress to the 20 before he got dragged back about 8 yards. Love to see that Union team, everyone putting in effort. No one letting just another man do his job. Everyone getting to the ball, finishing it. As the Union defense takes the field, they've done a phenomenal job today, creating turnovers, big plays when they need it. That safety almost could have been a touchdown if a Union player could have recovered the fumble, pass up the middle, completed up the seam. Gets past the Union defense for a gain 35 yards. I'm sorry, more than 35. That would be 38. Drop back for Weiss to the sideline. Catch is made, and they'll say he gets into Union territory. Union linebackers don't think so. But I always like to say a DB never thinks he gets never thinks the wide receiver gets their feet in. They'll celebrate no matter what. Could be the cleanest catch of all time. Union looking to start out the Liberty League 3-0. They have to finish this one out. Weiss back to pass. He goes short up the right sideline. Spins out of bounds. Penalty marker. That was number 3, Harding. The leading playing receiver going into today. I'm sure after the yards today, he'll actually take the leading receiver role. Nilkas Dragitis, the 6-foot sophomore and leading tackler for this Union defense, for taunting on the sideline. Obviously, Union hyped up with the score on the board, but their relatively crucial penalty puts the ball in the red zone for the Statesmen. Out back, that's Jeremy Weiss. He's been the quarterback that we've seen make some impressive passes down the stretch to give some life to this offense. That ball, nowhere close to its intended receiver. Tried to throw that one where only his guy could get it, but the placement was a little too far outside of his receiver. First really incomplete pass we've seen in a few minutes. Now under 3 minutes to go. Still a 3-score game. Would have to be some amazing antics from this Statesman crew to get this comeback done. Weiss drops back, looking right, switches left, throws, left corner of the end zone, too high. Too high and inside on defense. Number 27, Trey Resendez, the third. We saw him come up with a big interception last time Union was playing at this field. And just good positioning there, keeps his body on the inside. That ball was off its mark. Doesn't let the receiver get past him. As it'll be third down, one of the last chances this Statesman crew will have to put this one in. 3 wide receivers, the tight end goes out. He's going to left corner again. Resendez with the interception. Just talking about his interception versus St. Lawrence, and the receiver and the quarterback were completely off the same page there. Resendez intelligently taking a knee in the end zone. I was concerned that maybe he didn't actually catch that one in the end zone. Referees seemed to think that was fine. Now, obviously, we don't have the replay here, so I believe he did. But Resendez, the final nail in the coffin for this game. 3 scores for Union, 2:30. They'll have to run a few plays to make it official. Ball to DiNardo. He finds a hole. Gets a first down. Michael DiNardo adding to his yards for the day. Trainer coming out. I can't tell why. I think a timeout was called. Hobart does take the timeout. Trainer a little bit confused, thought it was an injury timeout. I kind of thought it was, well, it's a strange time to take the timeout for Hobart. A 3-score game. Union looking to end it with just a couple extra first downs. Really just 1 first down, depending how many timeouts Hobart decides to take. Don't know if this one's just a centering themselves to finish out the game or if it's an attempt to stall the clock. 33-16. Union coming through when they needed it most. The defense made huge plays, created turnovers, got a safety. And then Union offense just grinded out, led by Pat Flanagan on his legs. I'll get you some statistics here as we run out the rest of this game. But an impressive offensive day for Hobart, but just unable to find their way into the end zone. Rushing yards, 228 for Union, 156 for Hobart. Receiving, 234 for Hobart, 117 for Union. If you think Union was the greater passing team coming into today, but some big completions coming from Jeremy Weiss put Hobart in the lead in that category. Union really just stuck to their run, which when their run's working, that has been the most effective section of their game. And it looks like Hobart will try to time out the rest of this game, maybe give themselves a chance at least to get the ball back. Total yards, Hobart will actually win out 390 to 347 so far. As Hobart did have a prolific offense today, just unable to find the end zone. And Union turnovers created the day. Jeremy Weiss, the only passing plays for this Hobart offense. 12 for 20, 234 yards, 60%, had a long of 68. Union passing, much more muted, but did have that long one to Gil Rivera, who has a long of 39 yards. Don't have his total yards, as there's a little bit messed up with his stats with some negative yards in there that weren't his. Big run to the side for Pat Flanagan. Gets the first. He'll stay in, and that'll end this one. One timeout left for Hobart. They'll take it. Surprisingly, maybe. But Union, I think will exactly be able to run this one out. Rushing for Union, led by, you guessed it, Patch Flanagan. 117 yards on 22 attempts. Longest, a 35-yard run down that left sideline to secure some early points in the first half. On defense for Union, John Dragidis said his name an innumerable amount of times. 12 total tackles, 3 tackle for a loss. I'm sorry, 2 tackle for a loss. Tackle for a loss leader was Miller for Union, 11 yards. And the big sack, creating that safety opportunity that could have been a touchdown if someone was there. That was Logan Miller, sack leader for Union. Run up the middle. DiNardo gets a few, but is quickly stopped. As the board still shows a timeout for Hobart, but I believe they are out. That was that last one on first down. I'm sorry, on the first down play. Union won't be able to fully run this out. Technically, they'll need another first down, unless somehow they were able to perfectly snap it at 0 seconds every time. DiNardo in there with Patch Flanagan, 2 tight ends. Hand off to DiNardo. He'll go up the middle. It'll be about a loss of 1. Third down, 1 minute left in this game. Barring any absurd activities as DJ Wright comes out onto the field to help out with DiNardo. Wide receivers come out. So maybe a punt team comes out on third down. Just 30 seconds left Oh, I'm sorry, that's victory formation. As a little bit of shoving comes in, Union didn't like that Hobart ran through in victory formation. You see waving to the crowd, number 78, David Cooperstein. Pash Flanagan hyping up his team as that will end the game. 33-16. Union wins. Starts out 3-0 in the Liberty League. And another win at home. 3-0 here at Frank Bailey Field. A big win on homecoming weekend for Union College. Thank you for tuning in. And tune in next week. Union will be back looking to move to 4-0 in the Liberty League. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.